Hello there, everyone, and how are you guys today? Well, we would just like to remind you to like, comment, and subscribe if you have not already. Now,
hello, my little munchkins, crones, and sunflowers. How are you? I hope everything with you is wonderful. Well, with no further ado, let's just get into it, sister wives. Well, baby clone, go ahead and take us there. Go ahead.
Yes.
I mean, before we go, it was very. I don't want to be complaining Nancy, but it's so hard for me to get into it when I've been to a wedding.
Yes.
It's so hard because it's so, for me, it's boring.
Mm-hmm.
I just wish they could have given us so much more. I think they just took us too far back.
Yes, too far
and
back.
I think maybe they did this because they just wanted to give them a show. Like, you know, like they didn't want to take it off or skip a year. So they went and got some old stuff, put stuff together, and gave us a show. I think the biggest mistake, they took us too far back.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. It's just too far back because you can't talk about it like you want because you already know what's happening.
Yeah.
It don't fit.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, that's how I feel. That's honestly how I felt this episode. I finally caught up to the train. So really what I just want to highlight on some key things that I've noticed in this episode is that everyone just happened to mention, like the sister wives and even Nathan, who's Kody's friend, that Kody is not himself. He's more angry.
But remember, this is in the past.
Yes, this was in the past. Right.
You gotta say this is like 2-3 years ago. So you can't say that he is this now because we're so far away from that. And this is what makes it crazy now, because what's going on now is that there is child support.
Yes.
And they done sold their house because he's trying to get away from paying child support. So it's kind of hard to go back when we living in the present. It would have been okay if it was a year ago, but this is too far back. Christine is married and used to her husband, and now we see them kissing and everything. It's just, this is weird. It's wild. Go ahead.
It is weird. It's definitely wild, especially the family dynamic with Christine and how her kids and their kids feel about them.
And I thought that they loved, well, now it's like they adjusted and they love them. But here you see that the kids are struggling. Yes. And, you know, I don't understand that. Well, like, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Because if you knew your mom was so unhappy,
exactly,
why would you be so...
Thank you.
I can't even, well, that was then, because at that time she wasn't 14. At that time she was what? 12?
2 years ago, yep, 12.
And I could use to her, it was just being her and her mother for so long. Her and her mother and the other girl who had the back surgery. Isabel. And Isabel finally left. But other than that, I could see that. But outside of, your mother's 50-something years old. And when you 50 and you live 30 years or almost 30 years of your life in hell, yes, and you get out, the first thing you want at 50, you ain't got time to date for 2 years. You can, but when you at that age, you just want to get to getting and know what you want, and let's take a go at it, you know? So I get it all. And I think they should be very happy for their mother, actually.
Yes. Yeah, they seem supportive, besides the fact that they weren't used to the
affection.
Yes,
I understand that. I understand that.
Yes. One thing that I also wanted to highlight is Kody and him trying to talk about the past and how he felt about his wives. He said, and I quote, and I rewind back to get these quotes because I wanted to make sure I heard him right. He said, "I'm offended for Christine on the idea that she married me for eternity and her soulmate is out there, because he feels as though that it's unfair that God puts them in these eternal marriages, and they're suffering and they're forced to be stuck with each other for the rest of their lives.
Well, I have a question. Did God really come down and tell them that? Did God come down and say, hey, I want you to marry Christine, marry Janelle, marry Mary, but your love will be Robin. Yeah, it sounds like a bloodthirsty God, but go ahead. It just,
Right.
That's what you believe. It's not what God did, it's what man did. You know, what's his name? The guy who did that, I forgot his Smith. As good as I know that the way that Latter-day Saints, I don't know all of it, but I've certainly been visited enough. I've been to one of their things, and you know, that it's not a church. It's not a church, but it's like you go and you hear a message and they tell you what's going on and stuff like that. I've been to them, but no, I don't blame God for that. I blame man, and use your common sense and figure out for yourself. At this time in the game, Kody was angry.
He was, and
Kody was bitter back in those days. Unfortunately, I don't know how Kody is today because they're not showing it. But clearly, Kody is still bitter because he's certainly not wanting to pay the child support. And he went against them. And from what I understand from Crystal Ball is that they're going after him. And rightfully so. I mean, I don't understand why you need a big old mansion when it's only but really the two of you and the little Kody.
Yeah.
You got little Kodia running around. That's what I call it. Little Kodia. Little Kodia running around, the little girl. And that's pretty much all you have.
Yes.
So why do you need a 6-10 bedroom mansion?
Exactly.
Why heap that kind of money and bills on yourself? What are you going to do in a big old house like that? I don't know.
Oh, no.
Vanity, vanity. All is vanity.
Yes,
go ahead.
It is. Now, this quote is from Robin, and I found it a bit curious. I had to ponder about this real long and hard. She said that she learned, Robin, she said she learned one thing on her marriage day,
Robin?
Yes, Robin.
Okay.
She learned that Kody told Robin that marriage should be celebrated. And she said that on her wedding day, it wasn't about her and Kody. It was about the family, and she made sure of that. And because of that, she didn't celebrate her marriage. So because of that, she'll never do that again. So I think she'll
never do what?
Never get married and not get married for herself instead of getting married for everybody else, because her wedding wasn't about her. It was about the family.
You know, at this point,
she finally admitted it.
Admit what, though?
Admit that she was really just in it for Kody and wasn't about the family, even though she wanted this big picture.
She said that? Tell me what she said again.
That marriage.
As you see, I'm dodging in and out. I'm sorry. I got little bits and pieces, but
it was boring.
I don't want to, dim the show. I'm glad it's back. I wanted it to come back so bad. I just didn't want to live in the past. That's all. So go ahead. So let me catch up. Go ahead. What you said?
Okay. That
I did see bits and pieces, but go ahead.
Yes, that on the day that she married Kody, her marriage day wasn't about her and Kody. It was about the family. And because of that, she didn't celebrate her marriage. She celebrated a family marriage.
Well, I'm kind of confused because what was the honeymoon for? They had what, a 14, how many days? 10 days? 2 weeks? Honeymoon?
Yeah, you right.
They were smiling and happy. No, the wedding could have been for the family. I got you. But you were on a long honeymoon. And what about prior to when y'all was kissing and hugging and all that kind of stuff? Yeah. Girl, miss me. Oh, miss me with that. I can't.
Oh,
I can't.
Yes.
It just doesn't. I'm not. It's just name blaming. shaming, all of this, it doesn't make sense to me at this point. It's old. When she got in that marriage, the first year she knew it was something wrong with it.
Yes.
You knew.
She knew.
So I don't know. It's hard for me. It's hard for me to take Robin at face value.
Yes.
Only because for me, she never tried to save that family.
No.
Never. She never called the family feast.
No.
She never said, Kody, I demand that everybody get here. I don't care how you get them here in our house. I'm going to have it catered. We're going to have a good old meeting, and we're going to bet, and it's mandatory. And I'm going to make it where everybody can come. She never did that. I would have done that.
Yes. That was really about
if I was really about the family, I would have had a cookout or something. I would have been about that. With games and stuff. Well, see, I'm a cater person, so I have anything catered. I'll have Thanksgiving, Christmas. I'm catering. Like, it's easier to just have it catered. Yes. Somebody cook the food or somebody come and serve the food. Don't matter to me. It's just easy when you got all these kind of people.
Yes.
Or everybody could have bought a dish.
Yeah.
Potluck. Everybody sit around and say, look, we have this dinner, bring this, bring that, bring that, bring that, bring that. You can bring 2 things, you can bring 2 things, you can bring 2 things, you can bring 2 things.
Yeah.
And it's mandatory. We have it on a Sunday or Saturday, whatever it takes. I rent a place, you don't tell me. That's how people do family reunions.
Yes.
So she could have done that.
Yes, she could.
So to sit back on a bathroom floor, sit back and say, I didn't really much enjoy my wedding. It was just really, I did it for them. Really, yeah, you did it for them. You bought your gown for Kody. You did all of this. But what about all the other stuff that you did before you even was married?
Exactly.
What about this big old mansion that you bought? None of them had mansions. You bought a mansion.
Yes.
Is the house over 6,000 square feet?
Let me see.
Anything over 6,000, anything 6,000 feet and more, it's considered a mansion. That I know.
Yeah, and then let's see. They said 5 bedrooms. Yeah, 4,000.
That's not a mansion.
Oh, okay.
That's what you call Mac mansion.
Oh,
a mansion has to be, the house they lived in now is only 4,000 square feet.
Yep, the one that they just listed in Arizona for 1.65
That's
million.
it?
Yep, 4,476 square feet with 5 bedrooms and 4 bathrooms.
That's the size of this pretty much. So no, that's not it's a mansion. A Mac mansion, from what I was told, because I had a house that was before I bought this house. And I thought when I bought this house, I was downsizing. So when I bought this house, I paid, roughly 5. It was not what I paid for it, but the square footage, what I moved from was almost 6,000 square foot. So, it was just too big. It was 6,000. It was 550 something square foot or 60 something square foot. And the realtor said a little bit more, it would have been considered a mansion. So for 6,000 square foot is considered a mansion. Like 4,000, they big, but they're not considered what you would call a mansion. Gotcha. And your average mansion is going to have bedrooms that are equipped, not like a little tiny room on the side. Yes. You're going to have every room that is a fairly decent size, not a little tiny room. You know what I mean?
That's true.
So usually houses of 6,000 square feet is usually going to come with 6 bedrooms. It's going to come with a den or 2 living rooms. It's going to come with a kitchen and a dining room, maybe a family room or a morning room. It's going to come with all of that. So maybe even a refinished basement. It's going to come with a 3rd floor. It's going to come with at least 6 or 7
more
bedrooms.
Space just means more.
The rooms are bigger. Am I right?
Yeah.
So no, I'm shocked. I thought that they lived in a mansion. They live in.
It looks like it from the outside.
It looked like it, but no, it's not. Maybe for them it is, but no. So what is the size square foot that they moved to?
Let me see if I can
That's a mansion because they showed it. Now that's a mansion. But that could be a mansion for some. But 5,000 something square foot. It's not quite there yet. So it wasn't even 5,000 square foot. What? It's a big house. Don't get me wrong. I ain't frowning on that.
Yes, you're right. Especially because they had bought it for $2.1 million.
Yeah, but a mansion of that size.
7,000.
See, that's a mansion.
884 square feet.
That's a now. What are they going to do with all that house?
Yes, why'd you all size?
What about the taxes on that house? What about the mortgage on that house? What about the gas and electric? The water? The water may not be much, but what about the electric to keep that house warm? Big mansions are drafty homes because it takes a lot to heat them up.
Yes.
You know, how many bathrooms it has. Usually when you have a house of that size, a couple of rooms have their own bathrooms in them.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm trying to see if I can find out how many rooms was in this house.
In the new one?
Mm-hmm, in the new one.
That's a mansion, from what I've seen.
Yes. They gained 3,000 more square feet. What are they going to do with that?
What they going to do with it? And the kids are leaving. It's no way. That's an investment home. That's not a home for them to keep. That's just a home that they're going to just live in for a while, and then they want it to grow, and that's a house you're going to sell. Frankly, I find mansions very drafty, and that's especially where they live. Mm-hmm. And the bills on it, electric, to maintain them are costly. So 4,000 square house, 4,000, that's even expensive to warm them up, to keep them warm. I think 3,000 is a relatively, because I want to downsize. So I just think that they drafty, they big, they costly, it's costly. And I'm not saying, I mean, if you got money to burn and you got a housekeeper that can come in once a week or every 2 weeks, and you got a maintenance guy and you got somebody that can do the outside, fine. But outside of that, it's expensive to keep a mansion. Mm-hmm. Unless you have a mansion and a little bit of land, and that don't look good. That's those cookie cutter Mac mansions. I don't like those. But
yes, their house has 6 bedrooms and 7 bathrooms.
Told you.
I guess one of those must be like a
usually,
hallway bathroom.
Yeah, because most of the time when you have houses like that, the rooms have their own bathrooms in them. You may have one that's right next door to the bathroom that may not. That would be like a guest room, or maybe another little room that they got. But other than that, most of the time, a lot of those, they have a bathroom on every floor, and they usually have bathrooms in the bedrooms. Mm-hmm.
Well, this was a nice transition talking about houses.
Well, let you know. Sorry, I was just... Okay, go ahead. I'm back. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Lastly, not going to talk too long about it. Mary was just moving out of her house, and it was really awkward to have Kody help her move out.
She seemed too giddy. She just seemed off to me. Her humor, her way, she just seemed off. Like the way she was acting was off. Mm-hmm. Off and off-putting. Acting like you're happy.
Yes.
But we know you're not. Mm-hmm. You're acting like it, but we know you're still crying.
Yeah, that's true.
You're acting all awkward and like, it's so happy. I'm so happy to be a divorce. You're sitting there talking to Kody's best friend. He Nathan. Already looked weird, and he's looking at you with that weird look, but he doesn't even smile at you, and you have been acting goofy, and then he goes to Kody and be talking and laughing.
It was really
it was
awkward.
Weird. That was awkward. Mary is off. And the thing is, she's somebody who you feel sorry for. Because I could see why none of the people get along with her. because she's an odd cake. You know what I mean? She's odd. She's odd. She stands out.
Yeah.
But I don't think that she deserves the ridicule that Kody gives her.
No.
And one of the things that I find hard about this season of watching is the way he talk about these women and the regret and the remorse he has for even marrying them and his disgust. I find that so hard to watch. It breaks my heart to hear a man talk about a woman, talk about those women and the way that they have and the way that he has. They have had their babies, his babies. They have been faithful to him. They have everything Kody is. He would not be if it wasn't for those three women. And I just feel ill when I think about it. And so when I hear him talk about them in that way, it just makes me ill. And like I said, Murray is an oddball, but she does make you feel sorry for her. And I hope that she find love. Yes. I hope she find love. I hope she find love in a hopeless place. She found love in a hopeless place. She found love in a hopeless place. That's what I hope for her.
Yes,
Thank
I
you,
really
baby.
do. You're
I
welcome.
wish that for her.
Yes,
I wish that for her. And I hope that Janelle get the home of her dream.
Yes.
I hope
she needs that too.
I want that because I don't have to worry about Christine because she's happy and I don't have to worry about Robin. And what I wish for Robin is that she dry her tears and enjoy the man that you fought for.
Yes.
Even though you say you didn't, it's just my word against yours.
Yes.
I'm not in your head. I can't tell you because I don't think like you. But for me, sitting on the outside, you didn't do anything and before COVID. Because it just seems like they had said everything went wrong before COVID. No, what COVID did, COVID pulled the sheets off of everything.
Yes, it did.
That's what COVID did. It was already bad before COVID.
And you know, that was exactly probably the point of why COVID had came in, just to expose.
It is exposed what was already broken and hidden. You know, and Kody wanted to not go there. And understand, look, I understand if I didn't love a man and I had 3 husbands, I don't like you and I don't like you and I don't like you, but I love him. I don't want to go to all 3 of y'all and miss out on him. I want to go home to him because I'm over here laying with you wondering what he doing. I'm over here laying with him and wondering, is he cheating? I couldn't go through that. Well, you know, am I making sense? So could you imagine the torment he felt? And I think this is what we hear with Kody, the torment. I had to find loving these women. I had to love them. It wasn't God, Kody. It was you. Yes, and at the end of the day, if it was so godly, why you didn't fight for them? You could have dropped on your knees and said, Christine, don't leave me. You never fought for none of them.
No.
Only Robin.
Yeah, that's true.
And I get it.
Robin.
And that's what I'm saying. You got those women gave you what you wanted. Yes, so I just think be with Robin. Just stop talking about him. I know he probably don't now, but just going back in that history, the more I listen to it, it breaks my heart because it's just mental abuse for me as a woman to hear a man talk about women like that. It's very hard for me. It's very hard because it's inhumane. He talked about them like they're animals. Like he think they did the most disgusting things he ever had. And like his love was so valuable and I had to lay with him and sleep with him. Ugh. That's how he comes off. And it's that they disgust me. And I find it, as a woman, I find it so horrible to watch and hear. That's why I think I blank out. I can deal with everything, but the abuse is too much.
Yeah, you literally can't go a scene without him saying something negative about somebody.
It's one of his ex-wives.
Yes.
And at the time, they're not his ex-wives. Well, at the time, the only one that's his ex-wife is Christine.
Yeah, that's true.
And we seen that.
And Mary, because she had
no. He was still married to. Does she get the divorce?
Yeah, she had gotten that spiritual release last episode.
So how could she get the spiritual release and she was still all involved with him? That don't make sense.
I don't know why Kody was there.
Wait a minute, hold up. Mary got a spiritual release.
Mm-hmm. So now she's no longer spiritually married to Kody.
So when was this?
Last episode.
Yes, I'm confused. So this must have been one of them hidden episodes because that's in the past. Because when the show went off the air, Mary was very much in love with Kody. Mm-hmm. So when Mary was trying to move and when we saw Mary was moving, so Mary went and divorced Kody. Something is wrong. I think it's a time lapse there. Mm-hmm. Some kind of time lapse. And I'm because that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, because it is weird that after that very next episode, we're going to see Kody over there helping her pack and move.
It doesn't seem right. That's something off about that scene because
it was off. Because
Mary was the way it is in modern times. Mary, when it went off the last time, Mary. If they gone back 2 years ago or whatever, mm-hmm. when it went off scene, Mary was still married and to Kody, right? Mm-hmm. So that was more present. You follow what I'm saying? And 2 years ago, they was more present. Right. So we went back 2 years ago. That don't make sense to me because it's only been a year. And when we went off last year, Mary was still in love with Kody. So when we come back, how is it that 2 years ago? There is something wrong with that story. I hope you all understand what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I do.
I'm just catching it.
Right, because I remember that because I think they briefly had, and it was weird too. They had put Mary in somewhere with that Christine special when she was getting married to David, and Mary was talking about how she is free from Kody and she's going to be date. I'm not sure who said she was going to date, but she's just free from Kody.
So they showed that episode now, mm-hmm. when they should have showed it back then. Because it would make sense and make it more cohesive.
Yes.
But even though Mary had left them, I don't think she filed, did she? Or she did? When she left and moved, she filed for that divorce from him.
Yes. Mm-hmm. She had went up to the church, got the release on terms of abandonment. Mm-hmm. And so she was no longer spiritually married to Kody. Kody didn't like the fact that he was abandoned.
But when they were sitting so she had came back to move. And Kody, she was trying to make it like Kody was mad. He could have been, she know him better than me. I didn't see it. Mm-hmm. What I saw, if it wasn't for my friend, I wouldn't be helping. Would I help my wives to move out? I help Christine. I got you. He ain't hug her. He ain't do nothing to her. I don't know. I'm flagging my hands. Let me put my hands in.
No, that's exactly how he
felt. It just seemed odd to me.
It was odd.
And she's really acting like, oh, I'm so happy. And you know, Kody, you sit, and I'm like,
she's trying to do that weird flex of, I'm still happy. And you're not
gonna break me. You're talking about not happy women. Hey, look, I'm happy. No, you're not. And I don't blame you. You've been married to that man for 30 years. Yeah. You gave that man you gave Robin your husband.
Yeah.
You did that. If I would have had to do that with that much grief, I would say, if I divorce you, it's over. And I would have said to him, if I give you this divorce, mm-hmm. it's over. Yeah. I'll marry you. No, we can't have gay. But I would have said, if I sign these papers over to you, mm-hmm. I'm out because I can't live with this. So, but what I'm saying is she loved him. And you can still see it. Mm-hmm. She loves him.
Yeah.
Poor thing.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No, that was it for this episode.
That was it?
Yeah, that was it.
Oh, come on. It's got to be one more thing.
No, because it was really the two scenes it was mostly focused on. Mary moving out and Christine finding a venue for her wedding. that we've already seen.
I just find her scene boring.
That was boring.
Only because I've already seen it.
Yes,
that's why. Mm-hmm. And she's already married and everything.
Yes. The one thing I didn't highlight about that scene is the fact that they are searching for a venue to get married and not even engaged at that time.
That's crazy. But Christine kooky, but she did get married, and her husband said at the time her boyfriend, he said, well, let's go and get married at the Justice of the Peace. And she's like, I don't want to get married at Las Vegas. In other words, I want to be a kid again. And I received that. And I love it that he lets her do that. Mm-hmm, she just wants this moment. She's like, I gave my children, they had big, beautiful weddings. And I never thought that I would. And I'm enjoying her joy.
Yes.
But it's hard because she's been married for 2 years. And Dad's daughter now is 14. So it's hard. Her daughter is a teen now. Mm-hmm. So it's hard to watch that. So, but nevertheless, that's it. That's it. Now I feel better. I feel like we did cover it. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode. We did the best we could. Like I said, that's all I'm gonna say about it. Well, that's all I had to say. Sunflowers.